Hey everyone, Lewis aka Spider-Man 991, and this is the first day of my Infinity War countdown series. Starting today, I will be uploading one video a day leading up to the release of Avengers Infinity War this Friday, April 27th. Because this is the first day, I figured the perfect topic for this video should be what movies am I going to marathon before seeing Infinity War? Now this is an answer that has a lot of people. Now I think what movies to watch, it really depends on what you want to see and how much time you have, or better yet, how much time you want to actually spend on this. Because while there are some really hardcore fans out there who plan on watching all of the movies, whether it be in release order or chronologically according to the MCU timeline, that can be a lot to take in. So I decided to make up my own list that eliminates some movies that aren't necessary, but just focus on the major high points of the MCU. Usually when I made this list, I asked myself two questions about the movie. Does this film add to the overall MCU narrative? And two, does it feature an Infinity Stone? Also, in case you're wondering how I'm going to list the movies, I figured I'd stick with chronological order according to the MCU timeline. The first movie on my list is Captain America: The First Avenger. This movie introduced the first superhero of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, chronologically speaking, with Steve Rogers becoming Captain America during World War II. Also, we didn't know it at the time, but the Tesseract the Red Skull was using was later revealed to be the Space Stone. So this is also the first Infinity Stone introduced to the MCU. So what better way to start your marathon than to go back to the very beginning timeline-wise. Iron Man. While Iron Man doesn't feature another Infinity Stone, it is basically and while Captain America was the first chronological hero, Iron Man is pretty much the first modern hero into the MCU. Although now we got the revelation that Captain Marvel existed in the 90s, but we honestly have no idea where she's been all this time, so we're just gonna leave that up in the air. So basically, Iron Man's on my list because it helped kickstart the entire MC universe from the real world point of view. And this is also the origin story that a lot of MCU movies followed once it became a huge success. And this also helped get people to stick around after the credits of every Marvel movie ever. So if you really want to, if there is a movie that is essential for your marathon, it's definitely Iron Man. The Avengers. This is pretty much the first official meeting between all the heroes that we've watched from Phase 1 of the MCU. We've got Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. Okay, Hawkeye was introduced in Thor, but he still has a role to play in this movie. Also, this is like the first superhero team up with a bunch of major stars who've previously played heroes. And when I first saw Avengers, I was a little skeptical at first because this was the first time something like this was attempted, but thanks to Joss Whedon's direction, it went perfect, and it became one of the best superhero movies of all time. Also, the post-credit scene in this movie is what it showed Thanos and pretty much gave all the Marvel fanboys an idea about where the MCU was headed. Next movie I want to mention is Thor: The Dark World. I don't have a physical copy of it, so that's why I'm not pulling anything up. Despite my rulings, I did have to at least mention Thor: The Dark World, even though this is definitely not the best movie of the MCU. Honestly, if you don't want to watch this, I completely understand. The only thing that I really think you need to watch from Thor: The Dark World is the post-credit scene where Lady Sif and Volstagg deliver the ether to the Collector. And because this is the first scene that officially names the ether and the Tesseract as Infinity Stones. And it basically confirms, and while the Thanos teaser from the Avengers pretty much hinted at the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, this one actually confirmed it with the existence of the Infinity Stones in the MCU. So if you get the chance, just watch it somewhere. I'm pretty sure someone has it uploaded on YouTube, the Thor: Dark World post-credit scene, and you can just watch it there. You don't really need to see the entire movie. I just wanted to mention it because it is still something in the larger role of the MCU. Next movie, Captain America: The Winter Soldier. While it doesn't have an Infinity Stone, doesn't hit anything with Thanos, it did play a major role in the MCU narrative. and that was the sort of dismantling of S.H.I.E.L.D., where we find out that Hydra has been rebuilding itself within S.H.I.E.L.D. for the past 60 years. What follows next is a big blow to S.H.I.E.L.D.'s role in the MCU. Basically, the once huge, super powerful spy organization is reduced to going underground. And while this movie does have Captain America, Black Widow, Falcon, and Nick Fury dealing with the immediate fallout, dealing with the immediate revelation and the striking blow to help dismantle Hydra's control. Most of the fallout was featured on the second half of the first season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which definitely helped a lot of people gain interest in the show. And I think this movie really did help the show, because once the whole Hydra revelation happened and then it spilled on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I started watching that show whenever it came on. Also, this was the first MCU film directed by Anthony and Joe Russo, and if this movie wasn't as good as we all know it is, then there is no chance we probably wouldn't have gotten the same type of direction on Civil War and also Infinity War. So this movie definitely led to these guys taking over the Avengers from Joss Whedon. Next movie you should watch Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy, there are a number of reasons why this should be on your marathon. Because on top of it being a very fantastic movie with a very funny and entertaining cast and James Gunn's clever storyline and direction, it also gave us a bit more information about where the Infinity Stones came from. We also got the appearance of the Power Stone, and we saw a bit more of Thanos. Yeah, they brought him back from Avengers, and he still didn't do shit. But still, Guardians of the Galaxy is still a fan favorite among MCU fans everywhere. This might be debated for some people, but the next movie I think you should watch is Age of Ultron. First of all, while I will admit the whole Thor jacuzzi vision scene definitely slowed down the plot, it did allow the Avengers to learn about the existence of the Infinity Stones, and also the reveal that Loki's scepter had the Mind Stone, which made a lot of MCU fanboys who pretty much told their friends about this theory right. So have that moment in the sun. Also, we got to expand the Avengers roster with the addition of Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision. Still, Age of Ultron, it's really fun, even though a lot of elements in this movie were probably forced by the studio, and it did sort of cause Joss Whedon to take a break from filmmaking for a while. It's still a fantastic movie, and for me, it pretty much goes like right at the bar that Avengers was set at. Now moving on to Phase 3 with Captain America: Civil War. While we still don't have any new Infinity Stones, it did drastically change the status quo of the MCU's mightiest heroes. Between the Soviet Accords and the revelation about the death of Tony Stark's parents, the Avengers effectively disassemble. The fallout of this movie, where we have all the Avengers sort of scattered off into their own individual groups, definitely makes the setup for Infinity War that more exciting. And there's nothing like a mad titan threatening to destroy half the life of the universe to get the band back together. Plus, again, the Russo brothers directed this, so if anything, Winter Soldier and Civil War are just basically gonna help hype people up to remind them how cool Infinity War is actually gonna be because of these two guys. Next movie on the list is Doctor Strange. Just like how the Guardians introduced MCU fans to the more cosmic side of the universe, Doctor Strange introduces us to the more mystical side. Also, we learned that there is a third Infinity Stone on Earth, the Time Stone, in the Doctor's legendary Eye of Agamotto. When the Doctor Strange movie was announced, my mind immediately thought of Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, and of course, he does not disappoint in this movie. So that's another reason why I should see it. The last movie on my list is Thor Ragnarok. Alright, so we haven't really seen Thor since the end of Age of Ultron. And basically at the beginning of this movie we find out he apparently went to try to find the other Infinity Stones. But really Ragnarok's on this list because it helps set up where three major characters from the MCU, Thor, Hulk, and Loki, were doing in between Age of Ultron and Infinity War. Also, it's a really fun movie that definitely took Thor in a new direction, And it's definitely going to be an interesting setup when the other Avengers find out that Thor no longer has his hammer. And so that's basically what I think you should watch before seeing Avengers Infinity War. I'm sorry if anyone's favorite movies aren't on this list. Trust me, I know how you feel, because I really wanted to figure out a way to work Spider-Man Homecoming on this list, but I couldn't. I mainly made this list just so that while you could get the most out of the MCU without having to watch every single movie. Also, Black Panther I don't like to think whether or not I would have included Black Panther on this list, because by the time I'm filming this, it's the last week Black Panther is in theaters, and it won't be on Blu-ray until 2 weeks after Infinity War comes out. So yeah, but that's it for my list of the movies. What did you guys think? Do you think I should have added some movies, subtracted some? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, also remember to stay subscribed and notified. Follow me on Twitter for when I put, so that you'll know when I post new videos, so that you'll know when the next Infinity War video is uploaded. Remember, I'm going to keep doing this until Friday, April 27th, which will be the official release date of Infinity War. Until then, I'm Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.